the day before Coachella. We had a brief rehearsal where I met Keisha Jackson and Raquel. By the way, Keisha Jackson is Millie Jackson's daughter. Raquel, that's Erykah's goddaughter. And Coco, which is Erykah's sister, and they look smack alike. And just going over some of the routines and stuff like that. And I knew all the music, I knew all the lyrics. It was just, they do stuff a little differently live. And it was really cool. I got a chance to vibe with the band, and they got to hear me sing and stuff. And then that night, we drove out to Coachella. Got to the hotel. I stayed in my own room this time. And it was really nice out there. It was like 100 degrees. And then the next morning, before we did our lobby call, I had breakfast and got a chance to talk with Keisha and Coco and stuff like that. And it was really cool. I got a feel of everybody, and I'm gonna be me regardless, and so we get there and we do the gig, and can I tell you, walking out onto that stage, I was so nervous. And all I could think of was like, oh my God, Durand, don't trip. Don't trip. Oh my God, please don't trip. And because I had never been in front of that many people before. Like, never. Like, the only thing I can say, is probably when I got a chance to perform with Ricky Smiley at the Masonic Temple in Cleveland, and there was like maybe 4,000 people there, but that's about it. Like, and by the way, oh yes, I totally forgot about that. Back in 2010, Ricky Smiley got wind of me because one of his assistants put flashing lights on his iPod, and he sought me out and had me on the radio, and he would play the song and invited me down to Atlanta to do his birthday bash. And that's another thing, like, what is up with all of my favorites finding me? Like, Ricky Smiley is my favorite comedian, Erykah Badu is my favorite singer, well, female singer, and Ryan Slade is my favorite male vocalist. Like, all my favorites know about me, and we have relationships. Like, that's just God, that is God, for real. Anyway, as nervous as I was on stage at Coachella, I felt good because Erykah was up there, and when she would look back and smile at us, and that just made me feel comfortable. And I didn't know none of the choreography, and I kept looking at Coco like, okay, what we doing next? All right, so it was such an experience. And after it was over, like, as soon as we walked off stage, it was like somebody took a chopped onion and stuck it in my face. Like, my eyes were like just watering, and they hurt, and I could not stop. And all I really wanted to do was call Devette and be like, oh my God, did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see me? Oh my gosh. That was something I really wanted to do. And honestly, like, it's not that if it wasn't for Devette, I wouldn't have met Erykah. That's not really the thing, because I was going to meet Erykah because Erykah knew about me and she wanted me to do this regardless. It's just, it probably wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have probably done Coachella had I not been out there for her funeral, and, I wouldn't have been able to have that experience, like that one-on-one time with Erykah. Like, I would not have probably had that, really, for real. And so I'm grateful for that. But if I could, you know, I would want my friend back. And you know, it's a lot. It was a lot to take in, you know. It was a lot to take in. So came home, and you know, it was, and then, you know, a couple months after that, we did Detroit, Atlantic City, and Canada, and then we did rehearsals in Dallas, which were really cool. Rehearsals were the bomb, man. It was like, her band is off the chain, like just off the chain. And I enjoy her attitude and the fact that when she walks into the room, she speaks to everybody. She asks how everybody is doing. You know, she's a jokester. You know, she can take a joke, she laughs, she rips on folks. You know, it's just like, she's like the ideal best friend. Like, she really is. Like, just, and it's just something about her that it exacerbates whatever it is that you are. Like, she magnifies it. And I'm really grateful for her life, just as a person. Like, we can step outside of the fact that, you know, she's my favorite female musical person, but just person in general. Like, she has become one of my favorite people. And I'm just glad for that experience. And, you know, of course, I shared all my stuff overseas and things like that, but I just never got a chance to break down in between what happened, because then I would have to talk about Devette's death. And I still struggle with that sometimes, especially with Catch 22, which is an album that she put together, and Freestyle Soul and B, which are songs that she and I say we wrote them together, because she was pulling the words out of me. And Below, which is that was her favorite song, and she suggested that I do Mind-Blowing Decisions, and she could not stop singing the soprano part to AM Phone Calls, and just that whole album just has her all over it. And that's why I need to take my time with that project, and I refuse to put it out, and it's not perfect. And you'll notice that on the cover art, my hair is purple, which is her favorite color. My face is orange, which is my dad's favorite color. Then there's a yellow grasshopper in the corner. She always used to call me Grasshopper, because that was, you know, when you think about, you know, martial arts and things like that, the grasshopper symbolizes the person that is learning and that is young. And I'm never afraid to learn and to listen. And that's why there are grasshoppers all up and through the cover art and things like that, and purple stuff. You know, anytime I do gigs, my background singers wear purple, because that's a sign of her having my back, because she always did. And that really concludes the story. Really, everything else is just, it's my job now, you know. And one of my friends just happens to be my favorite singer that I've been listening to since I was 9 years old, and she's thebomb.com. And I've met some really wonderful people in the midst of all this, developed some really great relationships, And I know none of that would have ever happened had it not been for Devette, period. I know when she passed, a lot of things started to come into what she had cooked up, started coming to the table. And I really don't even know what to say. I'm just grateful that I got a chance to know her. And she wasn't stingy with her wisdom and her knowledge, because she was very selective about who she decided to just share things with. And I'm glad I was one of those people that got that opportunity. And I don't take it for granted at all, because it really does. Like, there are a lot of things that she's told me and that she shared with me that I apply to my life now. And, so that is my How I Met Erykah Badu story.